So here are my 5 tips for buying an investment property in Los Angeles. Basically, 2 years ago in 2015, I bought a duplex. And it's been going well so far. It's really actually one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, financially. Basically, I'm renting out one side, living in the other. The part that I'm renting out is paying my mortgage, and I'm basically living in the back almost for free. And it's appreciating, it's going up in value. So that was a great choice. And that was 2 years ago, so now I'm ready to buy another one, or I'm saving up to buy another one. And I've been thinking about it as far as when I bought mine, what are the things I did right, what are the things I did wrong, and if anybody's out there looking for an income generating property to purchase in LA, here's some 5 tips that that I've kind of just thought up and come across. So first of all, number 1, I would not buy close to a highway. Before, I thought like a highway would be kind of like an eyesore, and maybe, hey, whatever, maybe some people won't care about it or whatever, but it could be easy for other people to get on the highway, or maybe convenient. But now I look at it differently. Do not buy within like a quarter of a mile close to a highway. LA Times, there have been a lot of news articles trickling out that it's not only the smog from the highway, but apparently when people slam on their brakes, it's like this metallic particulate that comes off cars. And this type of cloud stuff, I mean, it's really bad for children, it's really bad for your respiratory system. So I would just overall steer clear of just having anything close to the highway, even if that property is on sale. I think in the long run, you'll lose money. The savings are not going to be worth it. Although number 2, the opposite, is buy something really close to a metro station. LA is building all sorts of metro lines. I missed out. I should have. I knew that the Expo line was being built. However, in West Adams, but I overlooked it. I knew that they were in the process of constructing the Expo line, and I naively thought that the prices already reflect, because everybody knows the Expo line is going to be built there. So I thought the house prices already reflect this new addition to this to transportation. However, I was wrong. That was a big mistake. I should have bought near a metro stop. I missed out on about $100,000 of appreciation in like almost a year, and I had to have some experience in renting out the front unit, and basically I have people really interested in my unit, but then looking at the map and saying, oh, you're just too far away from a metro line. And it's kind of, I always had a car / motorcycle, so I never really considered it. I knew it would be quote unquote convenient if you buy something near like a metro station. But if you're going to be renting this out, this is a huge plus, especially if you're going to turn maybe at some point turn your house into Airbnb. The tourists would, the temporary people would love to, you use the metro, and that would be a huge plus. So do that. So tip number 3, I'll call this one wait with roommates, meaning in other parts of the country, you buy an investment property, you're going to start making money from day one, meaning your mortgage payment is going to be less than what you bring in with rent. Positive cash flow right away. In Los Angeles, it's almost impossible to find something like that. Basically, if you buy an investment property and you rent it out, your mortgage payment is going to be actually higher, so you're going to start losing money from day one. However, Los Angeles is amazing for appreciation, and if you can find an up-and-coming neighborhood that you want to gamble on and basically buy it and see what happens, maybe it gets gentrified and goes up a couple $100,000 within a couple years. The only thing is with that is we have rent control and holding costs, meaning either A, you can buy something and not rent it out, but then you're paying the mortgage you're just paying the mortgage by yourself, and that's a lot of money. Or you can try to rent it out, but then we have rent control, meaning people you can only increase the rent 3% a year. So you buy something, you rent it out, and then all of a sudden, in 2-3 years, you're charging way below market value, which is not what you want to do. So what my tip would be is treat it as a roommate situation. Live in one of the units, and for the other units, just rent out every single bedroom. Now, you can advertise this thing as a roommate situation, and you don't sign a year lease. Just say, this is a month-to-month temporary situation for a couple years. And so yeah, if you rent it out as the whole unit with a lease and everything, then boom, they're under rent control, period. And then you have to pay relocation expenses, you know, if the neighborhood takes off in value, you have to pay up to $16K. But if you treat it as a roommate situation, it's still technically under rent control, but with roommate situation, I feel like it's a lot more flexible, as in terms of you can advertise this actually, or you can pick young people. You know, obviously, if you're a landlord and you're renting out whole units, you can't discriminate on age or sex or whatever. But as a roommate situation, people say, I see ads all the time on Craigslist like, oh, females only, or this age range, or whatever. You could just get some young roommates that you know are not gonna, they're gonna be traveling around or hopping from job to job, and they're not gonna, you know, need your place they're not gonna have kids and settle down. So they'll be out in a couple years anyway. And at that point, the neighborhood is already improved, and then you can go ahead and remodel the unit, and collect a good income. My fourth tip would be, don't get cheap contractors. I basically just got done remodeling a kitchen. When I first bought this unit, I paid somebody, I paid kind of a cheap contractor. Actually, I found a pretty good contractor, I thought, on Yelp. That guy was really busy, but he had good reviews. But since he was really busy, he recommended somebody else. And that guy had no reviews. I didn't know anybody. I just trusted this guy. He sounded really cool, like a young guy. He sounded like he knows what's up. He knows what looks good. Basically, he subcontracted my work, the little job that I gave him, to somebody else with really bad taste, really shoddy work, and I really hated him. I mean, I wasted my money. I really hated my remodel, and I mean, I had to live in this unit until I had the money to again just scrap everything that they did, start from scratch, and remodel it myself again, do it right this time. So I would just say, a good contractor takes pride in their work. So at the very least, they would have, when they do something and it's nice, they would take a photo and have it on their cell phone. Just ask them, what kind of stuff have you done? They should be able to pull out the phone and show you lots of pictures, lots of great stuff, check references, this is just one way of learning. Like, if you get something kind of cheap and you think you're going to do it half-assed, it's not worth it, because later on you'll probably want to redo it again, and then now you just pay double. And my last tip, number 5, is get a house with good bones. And what I mean by that is, there are a lot of, so there's 3 or 4 different type of like house looks or structures in Los Angeles, and it doesn't matter if a house has been, hasn't been upkept, a lot of delayed maintenance, it's been kind of trashed, or peeling paint, or broken windows, or whatever was, as long as the style is good. Because there's a lot of houses that are a little cheaper in Los Angeles, but I'm sure even when they were built 80 years ago, they were cheap back in the day, So if you're going to buy this property, and then let's say you're going to invest and, do a remodel, you can make a remodel, you can change the appliances, you can change the kitchen, you can redo the walls, but you can't improve on the style. Like if the house layout, it has tiny little dinky rooms and really low ceilings, I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna completely, demolish walls and like try to like raise the ceilings? I mean, no. It's obviously, just think about it this way. After all said and done, would somebody shoot a commercial here, or if somebody's shooting a movie, would this be a house that's been filmed that's for a typical family. If not, if it looks like a shack, actually, you know what? I'll post some photos right now of what I'm talking about. This is a photo of like a typical, I will call a shack. I'm sure there's an official, like, you know, style name for it, you know. And no matter, I mean, if you get an awesome deal on it, okay, fine, you know. But just so you know, yeah, you can improve it, you can make it look nice, but at the end of the day, somebody who's really into like houses, like, or like a family or whatever, nobody's going to be really excited about this property. A house like an architecture or like some kind of, you know, people who are really into that would, like, you know, the stylish people that would, you know, have a high paying job and will want that idyllic looking beautiful house. They're not going to, you know, pay top dollar for that. On the other hand, if you get something like this type of style, yeah, it can be really beat up or whatever, but you can tell that you're not going to be wasting your money investing into this house. The value is going to grow, and this is such a classic look. It's very idyllic, and it's, you know, it's going to appreciate in value. So those are my 5 tips. Let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe. Talk to you later.